Alright guys, this is my '07 Suzuki GSXR 600. Today we're going to be doing a review on this motorcycle here.
I bought it used. I am the second owner. The guy I bought it from was in the military and he was deployed, so he didn't get to use it much. He pretty much just had it in storage. He only had 2015 miles on it when I bought it from him. Before he put it on sale, he did reline the fuel tank. He replaced all the fuel lines. He also replaced the fuel pump and put new fuel injectors on there as well. I have about 5,600 miles on it now, and I haven't had any issues with it yet. I paid $4,500 for it, which I thought was a great deal considering the pristine condition this bike was in. So I believe I got really lucky with this bike. The only fault I could find with it were the fairings. The bike was dropped once, and it was dropped standing up. It wasn't like a crash or anything. So he did replace the fairings on there, so those aren't OEM. But other than that, everything is in great condition. But stick around. I'm going to go over all the specifications and all the aftermarket stuff I've added to it.
What's going on YouTube? Welcome to Motobeto82. Today I am going to be doing a review video on my '07 Suzuki GSXR 600. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but I'm just now getting to it. So I've had this bike since, let's see, it was maybe late January, early February. Before this one I had a '04 Suzuki GSXR 600, but that one, I killed that one. I wrecked it. So yeah, I'm just going to go over all the specifications, all the aftermarket stuff I have, and then go over the aftermarket stuff I still plan on doing to it. Guys, this is my Suzuki GSXR 600. It's a '07. Really quick, the specification, going over the dimensions. The length is 80.3 inches. Its width is 28.1. Its height is 44.3. The wheelbase is 55.1 inches. Ground clearance is 5.1 inches. The seat height is 31.9 inches. It weighs approximately 357 pounds. That's the dry weight. Of course, with the fluid is going to be a little bit more than that. And the fuel tank capacity is 4.1. This is a 4-stroke liquid-cooled DOHC engine. It's a 599 cubic centimeters for the displacement. It is fuel injected. It has an electric start. It's a 6-speed constant mesh transmission. It is chain driven. The forks are the inverted telescopic. It's oil damped. It has a coil spring inside of those. The rear suspension is the link type. It is oil dampened as well, and as you can see, it does have a spring in there as well. The brakes are disc brakes. The calipers are cylinder calipers, so you can see there. And as far as the maintenance, it's pretty easy maintenance on this motorcycle. You know, the average oil changes are about 3,500 miles apart. Uh, the the manual recommends that you change the oil filter every 2 to 3 oil changes, but I just replace the filter every oil change. I don't see what the point of not replacing it is. Um, as far as your spark plugs, replace them every 7,500 miles. The air cleaner about every 10 to 11,000 miles. Um, as far as the chain, you want to clean and lube that up every 600 miles or so. And the forks and the suspension, or rear suspension, you want to check that every 7,500 miles as well. And as far as the coolant and brake fluid, the manual recommends that you change that every couple years or as needed. And other than that, that's, I guess, the basic maintenance for this. Of course, you also do want to check the exhaust control valve, the fuel lines, the idle speed. You also want to do like a throttle valve sync every 7,500 miles. You also want to check your clutch and brake cables as often as, or every time you change the oil. You also want to check the radiator hoses in there every so often. That way, they're good. Of course, you want to check your brakes, make sure that they're functioning correctly, that there's no leaks as often as possible. And last but not least is going to be your tires, making sure that the tread on your tires aren't too bad. As you can see, the front one isn't too bad there for me. Let's see, the back, it's getting pretty close to changing time. All right, so as far as aftermarket parts, I do have some parts there. So let's start with the brake levers. They're the ASVC5 levers. I have them for the brake as well as the clutch, as you can see there. I like these because these are adjustable. They're aluminum, so they're very low weight. The next thing I got here is the Go Cruise there. I guess for long rides, it comes in handy, especially when you start getting rider's fatigue. I do have a Heel-Tech Speedo installed here. It's in there in the back part. I'm not gonna take it apart, but I do have that installed. I also have the battery minder. It's a mountable EC connector. As you can see there, the wire. So anytime I need to charge up my phone or my GoPros, that's where I connect them to. Also have a rectifier regulator bracket relocation kit. As you can see there, the rectifier is right there on the side. Usually they come stock and it's positioned between the radiator and the engine. But this particular model has had issues with that because of the heat that is created in that specific area. So kind of putting it out here on the side helps with the heat. It gets more air. This is the one I decided to go with. Um, there's also other kits, one where it installs it in the front of the radiator. There's also one that I've seen online where you can install it in your air box. So I guess it gets constant airflow there and it doesn't overheat. But as of now, that's the very first thing I did to this bike because I had read up on it, and that's one of the issues that many of these bikes have. So um, as of now, I haven't had any issues with it. Um, the other thing I have is the tank grip. There is a Pro Grip. Um, I also have the custom Taylor high definition tire reflector stickers here. So you can see, during the night, these come in very handy. They reflect a lot of light, so just a visibility upgrade. That way cars can see you at night. Then I have the Crater engraved bar ends here, in case I drop it, my bars have a little bit of protection. I also have the Crater engraved Swingarm Spools, which they're right here. So that gives it a little protection if I drop it, or if I need to put it on stands, I can do that as well. I do have the Crater frame sliders as well. A little extra protection in case I drop it. And the only other thing, well, I have a couple extra things actually. I'll go over those here in a second. But here I'll go over the Two Brothers slip-on exhaust. This is the M2 Black Series. I also installed a tail tip. Kind of reduces the decibels a little bit because at first it was really loud. I could tell that I was pissing off my neighbor. And there are some times where I was just cruising down a neighborhood and it set off car alarms. So I was like, oh, well, maybe I should do something about that. So I decided to go with it. It reduces it 3 to 4 decibels. It's still loud, but it is a noticeable change. Other than that, I have the ram mount tank mount here, so I can connect my cameras onto there. Then I also have the ram mount phone mount, so that's where I put my phone. And then I just have the brake reservoir. I don't know what you call it, but just protects it from the sun. But overall, I'm very happy with my bike. Like I said, it's a 07 GSXR 600. Um, I topped it out at like 153. So it's fast enough for me. I've only been riding for almost a year, so as far as my skills, it's plenty fast. But there it is. I like Suzuki's, especially the GSXR series. Um, so in a nutshell, there you go, guys.
I'm pretty happy with the way the bike is set up right now. Really, the only other changes I would want to make to it would be like a sprocket change, a front and back, a -1 in the front, +2 in the back, and maybe change the chain to a 525 chain. Um, let's see. I would also like to get a full exhaust, so get some high performance headers. And with that, obviously, I would have to also get a high flow air filter, as well as a fuel controller, like a DynoJet Power Commander or something along those lines. And the last thing I would want to do to it would be a CPU flash. So getting like a flash tune or something like that, and basically just de-restrict the motorcycle. And I also want to do some dyno tuning on there and get a custom map to fit the modifications that are made. And that's really all I want to do to it. Eventually I want to get a leader bike, so when I do, I want to start transitioning this bike to a track bike, so getting fairings for that, getting just basically just getting the bike geared for track day, buying like rear sets, and basically just stripping the bike of unnecessary weight. And that's really it. Hopefully this bike lasts that long, because I don't plan on getting a leader bike anytime soon. That's probably like 3-4 years down the line, so hopefully this bike lasts that long without any problems. But guys, thank you very much for watching. With that, I'm going to conclude the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all very much, and peace out. Later.